So what about it makes it, so really what you're doing is just offering sort of more traditional investors access to crypto markets.
True, our target audience is the newcomers, because if you see the market cap currently is 180 billion,
Right.
which compared to the traditional stock market, it's 1%, maybe 2%. So we're aiming for the newcomers who are interested in cryptocurrency, and we want to be the go-to currency for these newcomers, in the sense that we are stable, we provide the stable, consistent growth, because we do have gold in our portfolio of it's basically a coin that is a diversified portfolio into gold 35%, 55% Bitcoin, and 10% Ethereum. So we have the digital currency, we have the gold, physical currency, which is a physical commodity, should I say. So you can benefit from the profits from here, you can benefit from the profit of gold as well. At the same time, stabilize the risk, lower the volatility risk, which is a very big problem in the current cryptocurrency market.
So part of why we invest in Bitcoin is because of the volatility, because we can still make money off of it, versus something that's very stable, in which case it doesn't offer that same thing.
True. So now to answer this question, volatility is very healthy for any investor. I'm an investor myself. Once there is volatility, it's very healthy for your portfolio, because it means that you can make profit. The
Right.
volatility doesn't always mean going down, it can go up as well.
Right.
However, if you look at our coin, it's not only backed by Bitcoin, which means it's Bitcoin if it's only backed by Bitcoin. It's not backed by a single digital currency, neither one single physical asset. So it's backed by this diversified portfolio, which means if the cryptocurrency booms,
Right.
you get profit. Yes,
Right.
you won't get as much profit as investing in a single
Right, so
thing
you're
like
just hedging.
Bitcoin. So you hedge it, you lower the risk, you ease it, you stabilize it. Which means that you will always have the stable, consistent growth. And in case of loss, which might happen, you will incur lower losses than people who don't hedge it.
Is this your first sort of basket? Or are you doing other baskets as well?
So this is our core basket.
Yeah.
And we're adding to it demand, which will drive also the price. How are we adding it? Through application. So we have our own application. It's specifically for Darico to be an Ethereum wallet. You can put any Ethereum-based token in that wallet. And
That's up to the investor?
It's up to the investor, but it's recommended, especially because we're attracting newcomers. So
Right.
it's beginner friendly, it's easy to use. It will have split transactions, which means that confirmation time will be faster. It will have anti-scam system, which means that the address, for example, you're sending to address X. So this address will go through a validation point, which will say to you that this address might be at risk. He has done some bad things before. So you will have this warning. So it will be easy for beginners, easy for newcomers, and it will be also good for the original cryptocurrency enthusiasts or investors, shall we say. This is the other section that will drive demand value. Now the third thing is the uses, which will also add to the value of the currency itself. So uses like smart mortgages. We are promoting mortgages here in UAE. We have around 400 apartments. So you can buy with Darico apartments in the UAE. And we started with UAE because we are based,
Right.
like our founder has been here for 20 years. So we have connections here. But of course, we're going international. It's not a domestic coin.
Yeah, the real estate, I've often wanted to do like a rent to own, or like a buy to rent type scenario, or like just like a decentralized REIT.
We're kind of doing this
Yeah.
as well, in a sense that the collateral will be the apartment. If
Yeah.
you want to pay, you put initial deposit of Darico, and then collateral will be the apartment itself.
Yeah.
And then as you pay, you're covering the price, and eventually you'll have the apartment in your name once the price is done.
Obviously that's a smart idea. So you're kind of starting like an index fund for sort of, or a sort of like an index fund.
Sort of, but not really, because of the uses as
Right,
well. So
right.
this uses can add to it, can add to the value, especially with the application as well.
Yeah.
You can drive the demand value.
And you guys decided, you were saying that you found it, the the legal work is in Switzerland, in Zug.
Yes, it's based in Switzerland,
Yeah.
Zug, Crypto Valley.
Yeah.
The jurisdiction will be Switzerland
Yeah.
jurisdiction, and we're working on the legal things. We're about to finish actually and finalize everything.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So
Any other sort of things you wanted to cover? I think it's. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of different things. It's actually quite simple.
true. I want to cover actually one
Which is
more
like the
part.
strength of it in some ways, right?
True. Simplicity is important, but we also have one thing we want to cover, which is the auto mining process. So basically, during the ICO, we will be giving out 60 million Daricos because the total cap is 240 million. So in order to go from 60 million to 240 million, the people who invest during the ICO will have one DRX, Genesis account. So for each 1,000 Darico, you get one Genesis account. It acts like a proof of stake, but we developed our own emission table called the delegated proof of ownership. So the more Genesis accounts you have, the faster you mine. And of course, we have an emission period of 18 years, and it gets halved every 4 years.
So, but why are you mining it all?
In order to increase, so from 60 million, the supply, in order to reach our total supply of 240 million, and then at the same time to incentivize the people who will invest in the ICO and to drive the demand. So if there's so much demand for your coin, you can drive it through the application, through the smart users. So we need these coins to be there in order to drive it.
So
we don't want to
who-
give out all the coins at the same
So,
time.
but who's actually mining?
The person who invested in the ICO during the ICO.
So it's a proof of stake mining basically.
Close, but we have our own like developed system.
Has
But
it-
it is close to
but
proof of
it's-
stake.
That's interesting because I haven't seen
Yes.
that in
Yeah.
the wild.
Yeah. So it's strictly for Darico, and it'll be a good incentive for people to invest in the ICO, and in the same time it will be a great addition to the whole portfolio.
So the stakeholders, like Ethereum hasn't implemented Casper yet, so we don't know if that will ever work.
True.
But so it's basically like a delegated proof of stake
Yeah. So it is. We call it delegated proof of ownership.
of ownership.
So the more Genesis accounts you own, the more you mine.
Well, before we run out of light here, I think we should.
Yeah, I think
They're
something
trying
is-
to
Yeah,
get us out here.
but,
All right. Well, thanks for your time, man.
thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cheers.